welcome to Currency Call. I'm Manisha Gupta. Let's start with the Indian rupee, which erased early gains and is trading weaker after the local stock markets turned around and turned negative, and the euro also declined quite sharply. Right now, the euro is trading around around 1.44. Amongst other Asian units, we also have seen Indian rupee decline, as you can rightly see, 44.43 on your screens, and euro, of course, just about holding 1.43 rather at this point in time. Amongst other Asian units, the New Zealand dollar consolidated below recent peaks, while the Australian dollar continues to hold steady near its 20-year highs. The big losers for the day are the Indonesian rupiah and the Singapore dollar. So most of those Asian currencies actually were lower. The strength came back in case of Japanese yen today as the euro got hammered lower. So there was safe haven buying which was coming back into the markets. The dollar index in the meanwhile is trading slightly on the higher side today, off those 15-month lows for sure, and on your screens holding above 75 at this point in time, more than 0.5% of gain coming on for that one. The euro, as we were telling you, has declined to a 10-day low against the dollar on increased talk of possible Greek debt restructure and uncertainty over Portugal's bailout. The euro, as we told you, is just about holding 1.43 on your screens at this point in time. Let's get in the expert then, and Pramit Brahmbhatt, he is CEO Alpari Forex. He joins us from Ahmedabad to answer all your questions there. Pramit, hi, welcome to the show. Let's start with euro first, and we did see levels beyond 1.45 in the last week. At this point in time, just about holding 1.43. How do you see euro trading forward now?
Well, again, we have seen that the European crises keep coming back in a different form. So what we can see is there is a range of between 1.44 to 1.41, which is a very broad range, and sometimes it's breaking on the other side. As we have seen last week, it broke out of 44 level and touched for 1.45. Now we think it's a consolidation from the technical angle as well, that because the technical charting is also showing that there is a consolidation in euro dollar, and the news coming from euro is also not helping that. So we can see a sharp decline on both the fundamental and the technical side in euro dollar. So we can see 1.42, 1.4250 levels in this week time.
Pramit, since you are slightly bearish on euro and you expect levels like 1.42, how do you then trade dollar index? Are you looking at levels beyond 76 onto that one, because that has come back above 75 right now?
Well, this dollar index is little bit tricky, even though the yen has declined a bit. But what we can see that the yen has been gaining on the back of euro. So there will be a mix of results coming from the dollar index due to the mix back of the currency, as yen is gaining against the dollar, but the same time euro and the pound is weakening. So it depends on how much yen is strengthening against the European currency and the other currencies. But overall we can see there is a upside moment in the dollar index. It may not break 76 level, but it can definitely go closer to that.
From coming to Indian rupee then, and we started well, the stock markets turned around, and that did give a bit of a pressure to the Indian rupee as well, but we still have been trading within that 44-45 kind of range. How do you see rupee trading for the rest of this week now?
Well, 44.7 is a very strong resistance rupee is having against the dollar. So if it's breaking that, then it can go above that. But it seems that it will float between 44.70 to 44.30 levels. In any correction in stock market, it can bring rupee closer to even 44.10 to 44.15 levels. So overall, the rupee has a strength, but due to the equity market, we have seen the weakness. So over the week, we need to see whether the equity market is, can we see any sort of coming back in the equity market. That can definitely give some sort of more strength to rupee.
Pramit, one word on these commodity currencies as well. While the Australian dollar seems to be holding on the higher side, the way that we have seen a run-up happen in case of gold and silver, what other currencies would you be really watching out for?
The Canadian dollar is one more currency that should be watched out, because the result from the States was not very good last week. What we have seen today is on the back of the European crisis rather than anything to do with the US. So it will be important to see the Canadian dollar in coming week.
Now, with also on the Japanese yen, you did mention that we have seen some, strength come back into that one. Would you still start buying safe haven currencies at this point in time, or do you think that market still does have a risk appetite even at this point?
Well, with the yen, even on the technical charting is showing that the consolidation from 83 levels and 82 levels are expected, as well as from the fundamental side we have seen the crisis in the Europe, and even US is not doing pretty good, so that which gives some sort of safe haven into yen. In terms of the domestic condition of Japan, we have seen some encouraging news that it says that some sort of time frame is coming to resolve the Japanese tsunami crisis and the nuclear crisis. So it means they are getting in the control of the situation, even though it's going to take long, but they can underestimate what's the time going to be. So that way, yes, Japanese yen is going to recover. We can see any odd contractions coming where Japanese yen can tumble, but overall it's on its way of recovery.
All right, Pramit, let you go ahead. That's the view coming in from Alpari on all of those currencies, and there are HDFC earnings on your screen there. The numbers are well in expectations of the street there. HDFC Bank Q4 PAT at around 1,015 crores versus 837. So numbers are actually better, and as I said, in line with what the markets were expecting. When the markets open tomorrow, that stock is expected to react on the positive side. But with that, it's wrap on this segment of Currency Call. Thank you so much for watching. Business Day is coming up next.
Let's take a break on that note. When we come back, more on Infosys and the market, counting down to the earnings this morning, full year guidance as well.